What's up, y'all? Fear of God here again with yet another video. This one going to be for the M13 by request. This weapon, I would say, is probably the second worst of the assault rifles, just for the main fact of its damage range profile is not nearly as good as some of the other weapons in the assault rifle category. But before we get into that, like I said, my name is FRA, Fear of God. If you are interested in joining the FRA, we are a multi-platform gaming community. We do everything from competitive play to just playing just as a family. So if you're interested in joining, feel free to hit me up, and we can see if you want to get in or give you some further information. With that, we're also a sponsored clan, so I will put on the screen right now some discount codes for you for various sponsors. Feel free to use them. It helps us, it helps you in the long run, gives you a little bit off. But if you need anything from gaming supplies to jerky, or even a little pick-me-up from work or anything like that, I'd be able to do that all-night grind on Modern Warfare. It's all there for you, help you out. A little other announcement before we get into it. I'm actually going to be gone on the 17th, and so I will not have any content video out for about another week or two. I'll try to put out a few before I leave, but I'm actually going to go get married to an amazing woman who is actually the one that got me encouraged me into coming back into the YouTube scene and putting out videos like these. So if you enjoy the content, feel free to go ahead and comment your gratitude and give her a warm thanks down in the comments below, and I'm sure she would appreciate that. Alright, so the M13. It's a weapon that is more suitable, kind of like the Scar. It's more suitable more as an SMG than it is as an assault rifle. I actually suggest using it a lot in making it feel like it's an SMG over an assault rifle, just because of the damage profile and whatnot, which I will get into in a moment. But definitely treat this gun more like an SMG than you would a typical assault rifle like your M4, because it's a make or break difference, that's for sure. But anyway, without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump right into the build video itself. I got two for you today. One's hardcore and one is for core. Alright, so the M13. I actually have two variations of this weapon. It was originally asked of me to be able to make a class based around hardcore for this weapon, but I decided that it's best to cover both ends of it, because I do have one slight adjustment as far as the changes I would make between hardcore and core for this weapon. So we'll get into the hardcore variant first, which first off, with the regular class, I'm running with a rocket, which I'm still working on the Strela. My usual perks: EOD, hardline, battle hardened. I'm also running with a thermite because they recently buffed the thermite to where those with riot shields, it will kill them in one hit if you hit them with the thermite, regardless of if they have EOD or not. Which in hardcore, I noticed that a lot of times that people will run around, especially with riot shield on their back. So it helps for not only being able to get them in the back, but also, you know, if anybody's running a riot shield in general. In hardcore, I wouldn't run the stim. I'd actually run the gas grenade, because it's the only one that battle hardened doesn't really seem to have as much of an effect against countering, and it also makes it so that they're forced to hip fire instead of being able to ADS down, which makes it so that you're able to kill them a lot easier, as you know, they're only able to hip fire, and all the hip fire spreads in this game are pretty bad. So that will help you out as far as that in any class for hardcore. Getting into the actual weapon attachments, running with the Tempest Mini. And the reason being is because in hardcore, it's all about the ADS speed, not so much about control or recoil control or anything like that. In hardcore, it's a two-shot weapon, so you want to be able to get your gun down, aim down sights as fast as possible, and that gives you the aim down sight speed plus movement speed, so you can use it more like an SMG at the cons of bullet velocity and recoil control. Next one up is attack laser, which gives you aim down sight speed, aiming stability, aim walking steadiness, but the con is that the laser is visible to enemies when you're aiming down sights. No optic. I run it with the M13 skeleton stock, which gives you aim walking movement speed, aim down sight speed, at the cons of aiming stability. Typically, with any of the guns, the no stock is actually one of the better ones to run. But in this particular case, you don't lose your recoil control with doing this. And the little difference is just a little bit of movement speed, but not by much by any means. So that's why I run the skeleton stock instead, because it has less cons and you don't have as much of a problem with the recoil, or movement speed isn't decreased as much. And then I have the stipple grip tape, which gives you aim down sight speed, sprint to fire speed, which in hardcore, of course, is very important. It comes at the con of aiming stability. And then I run it with the m13 grip, which gives you recoil control and hip fire accuracy at the cons of aim walking movement speed and aim down sight speed. The reason why I run this particular one is because it helps tighten up your hip fire accuracy just a little bit, and plus it's the only attachment I have for recoil control, so you're able to get a little bit of both worlds on that. And as far as a normal class setup for core, the thing with the M13 is that it is not a weapon at any means that is able to do good damage at a distance. That's its major downfall as far as an assault rifle. In hardcore, it doesn't matter as much. So in this particular case, we sacrifice a little bit of aim down sight speed and put on the Tempest Marksman, which gives you damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control at the cons of aim down sight speed and movement speed. Yes, it does cut down a lot of movement speed, but at the same time, it not only helps a little bit with the steadiness that they increase range, but it also increases your damage profile, so you're actually able to hit some of those long shots. So it's not like a 7 bullet to kill, it's more like a 5 or 4 bullet to kill, which is a big help with this weapon. That's the biggest downfall with the fire rate is so nice on this weapon, but it's not a long range weapon by any means. But this allows you to be able to hit those longer range shots a little easier and be able to get those kills. So with that, Fear of God is out. I hope this video helped you. If it did, drop a like, drop a follow, and see you in the next one.